Welcome back to Blood Moon, Rise of Chen, Episode 7. Viewer discretion is advised. The storm did not break immediately. It gathered. Clouds rolled slowly over the city for 2 straight days after the shipping facility confrontation. Pressing low against the skyline like a ceiling descending inch by inch, the air felt heavy, swollen with humidity and static, as though the atmosphere itself were waiting for permission to explode. Chen stood at the edge of a high-rise balcony overlooking the river. The water below churned restlessly beneath the dark sky, reflecting distorted streaks of gray and silver. He rested both hands on the concrete railing and allowed the wind to move across his face. His wounds from the previous battle had healed, but his mind had not settled. Shadowline had not attacked impulsively. They had studied him. It tested response time, strength, and coordination among the clans. The ambush at the warehouse had been data collection. The shipping yard confrontation had been confirmation. They now knew how fast he moved. They knew how hard he struck. They knew he could tear through hybrid suppression nets. The next time, they would not repeat the same mistake. Behind him, the sliding door opened softly. Matriarch Leanne stepped onto the balcony without announcing herself. She wore a long dark coat that moved fluidly in the wind, her posture relaxed but precise. "You isolate yourself frequently," she observed. Kai did not turn. "I think more clearly at height." Leanne stepped beside him and looked out over the river. Height can create perspective. It can also create distance. Kai allowed that to linger before answering. "Distance is useful. Distance can also become distrust," she replied. Kai finally faced her. "Is that why you came?" Leanne's silver eyes studied him without hostility. "Leader Han believes we should consolidate forces and relocate primary clan assets underground until we determine Shadowline's next move. And you disagree?" Kai said. "I believe retreat signals weakness," she answered calmly. "Hunters interpret withdrawal as fear." Kai considered both positions. Han favored fortified defense and concentrated power. Lian favored visible strength and counterpressure, and Elder Shao Kai asked. Lian's expression shifted subtly. Shao prefers patience. He believes hunters reveal themselves more clearly when allowed to feel confident. Kai exhaled slowly. 3 leaders, 3 strategies. "And 1 hybrid in the center," Lian added quietly. He studied her carefully. "Do you trust me?" Lian did not answer immediately. "I trust your capability," she said at last. "Trusting your long-term intentions remains under evaluation." Kai appreciated the honesty. "That makes 2 of us," he replied. A faint sound interrupted them. Not thunder, a vibration. I felt it before he consciously registered it. His senses sharpened automatically. Far below, along the riverside road, 3 unmarked black vehicles slowed simultaneously near the abandoned dock warehouses. Lian followed his gaze. "Hunters, possibly," Kai said. "Something worse?" She did not hesitate. "We move." The docks smelled of salt, rust, and stagnant water. Cargo cranes loomed like skeletal giants against the storm-dark sky. Wind whipped loose tarps violently, snapping fabric against metal poles. The entire waterfront felt deserted, yet the silence was artificial. Kai crouched behind a stack of shipping crates, scanning the parked vehicles. The engines were off, windows tinted, doors closed. Iron Fang's operative approached from the right flank, his movements heavy but controlled. Shadow Root emerged from a low rooftop above, almost indistinguishable from the shadows themselves. Lian remained at Kai's side. "They are waiting," she murmured. Kai nodded. "They want us to approach first." A faint clicking sound echoed from one of the vehicles. The trunk opened slowly. Inside lay what appeared to be a large metallic container, reinforced with layered silver bands. Kai felt his pulse steady rather than spike. Panic narrowed vision. Calm expanded it. "Do not engage until we identify the device," he said quietly. The rear passenger door opened next. A hunter stepped out without armor. He wore a dark suit instead of tactical gear, his posture relaxed and deliberate. He raised both hands slightly, palms visible. "I believe we have reached a point where conversation is necessary," the man called out evenly. Iron Fang growled low under his breath. Kai stood upright and stepped forward just enough to be seen. "Conversation requires trust," Kai replied. The hunter smiled faintly. Trust is a luxury neither of our groups can afford. Leon's eyes narrowed slightly. You attacked us twice within 48 hours. The man nodded. We tested response capabilities. You killed one of ours, Iron Fang said, stepping into view. The hunter's expression did not change. Losses are inevitable when species intersect. Kai stepped forward another pace. You're not here to fight. No, the hunter agreed. Not tonight. Gestured toward the reinforced container in the trunk. Inside this case is a prototype restraint designed specifically for you, he said. We could have deployed it remotely. We chose not to. Kai's jaw tightened. Why? Because your existence is destabilizing, the hunter replied calmly. Not only among your kind, among ours as well. Shadow Root spoke from the rooftop above. Humans fear what they cannot categorize. The hunter looked upward but did not appear surprised. Correct. And when fear meets uncertainty, governments authorize funding. Kai studied the man carefully. He detected no immediate deception in his tone, but that did not equal honesty. You want something, Kai said? Yes, the hunter replied. We want an understanding. Lian's posture shifted subtly. Explain. The hunter clasped his hands loosely in front of him. Shadowline does not desire open war. War would expose realities neither of us can contain. Our objective is control. Control of what? Kai asked. Of you, the hunter answered plainly. Iron Fang's growl deepened, but Kai raised a hand slightly to keep him still. You believe I am a threat, Kai said. We believe you are a catalyst, the hunter corrected. Your battles have already drawn attention. Surveillance systems flagged the industrial explosion. Intelligence agencies are asking questions. If your clans mobilize openly, concealment collapses. Kai considered the implications carefully. And your solution? He asked. You submit to monitored containment, the hunter said. You operate under negotiated boundaries. In exchange, we cease aggressive operations against your clans. The wind intensified suddenly, whipping rain across the docks in sharp diagonal streaks. Lian's voice hardened. You're proposing imprisonment disguised as diplomacy. The hunter did not flinch. You're proposing stability. Kai stepped closer until he stood only 20 feet from the man. If I refuse? He asked calmly. The hunter's gaze sharpened slightly. Then escalation becomes unavoidable. Before anyone could respond, the metallic container in the trunk began to emit a low mechanical hum. Kai's senses spiked instantly. Step back, he ordered quietly. The hunter's expression shifted for the first time. That should not be activating. The container burst open violently. A mechanical construct rose from within, unfolding segmented limbs, lined with silver blades and injector ports. Its central core glowed with pulsing blue energy. Iron Fang reacted immediately, charging forward. The construct fired compressed silver projectiles in rapid succession, forcing him to dive sideways to avoid direct impact. This was not authorized, the hunter shouted, reaching for a communication device at his ear. Shadow Root dropped from above, slashing at the machine's upper joint with precise force. Sparks erupted as metal met reinforced alloy. The construct rotated unnaturally fast and struck Shadow Root with a hydraulic arm, sending him crashing into stacked crates. Kai moved without hesitation, sprinted forward and leaped onto the vehicle hood, using the elevation to propel himself onto the machine's upper frame. Silver blades slashed toward him, slicing across his forearm and burning deeply. He ignored the pain and drove his claws into the glowing core housing. The machine released a piercing mechanical shriek as energy surged violently through its structure. Lian moved fluidly beneath it, targeting stabilizer joints with controlled strikes that disrupted its balance. Iron Fang re-engaged from the opposite side, gripping one of the extended limbs and physically forcing it backward until internal pistons snapped. The construct shifted into emergency protocol and began charging its central energy node. It is preparing to detonate, Shadow Root warned from behind overturned crates. Kai wrapped both arms around the core housing and twisted with controlled torque rather than brute force. Its metal plates tore free as he exposed the power conduit beneath. He then drove his claws deep into the conduit and ripped it outward in a single violent motion. The machine collapsed instantly, its energy dissipating in a cascade of sparks. Rain fell heavily now, extinguishing the remaining electrical flare. Silence returned, broken only by distant thunder. The hunter stood frozen several feet away, staring at the destroyed prototype. "This was not scheduled for deployment," he said quietly. Kai stepped toward him, rain mixing with blood along his arms. "You came for negotiation," Kai said evenly. "Instead, you brought escalation." The hunter's jaw tightened. "Someone overrode command authorization. Within your ranks?" Lian asked. "Yes," the hunter replied. Kai studied him carefully. "You have internal fractures as well." The hunter did not deny it. "This machine was designed to force immediate compliance," he admitted. "It would have ensured your capture." "And it malfunctioned," Iron Fang said bluntly. "No," the hunter corrected. "It was activated deliberately." Kai's mind moved quickly. "Someone within Shadowline wants war," he said. "Yes," the hunter replied. "And someone within the clan's leaked hybrid containment research," Kai added quietly. Rain continued pouring between them. The hunter looked at Kai with something that resembled reluctant respect. "We are not the only ones with internal dissent," he said. Kai nodded slowly. "Then we have a common problem," he replied. Lian glanced at him sharply. "Be careful." Kai remained steady. "If factions within Shadowline are pushing for war, and factions within the clans are leaking information, then open conflict benefits both extremists," he said. The hunter exhaled slowly. "That is correct." Thunder rolled across the river, louder this time. Kai looked at the destroyed machine at his feet. "I will not submit to containment," he said calmly. "But I am willing to identify the destabilizing elements within both our groups." The hunter studied him carefully. "You're proposing cooperation." "I am proposing controlled confrontation," Kai corrected. Shadowroot stepped forward, eyes unreadable. "Trusting a hunter invites disaster." Kai did not look away from the man in front of him. "Trust is not required. Alignment of interest is sufficient." Rain soaked through clothing and pooled along the cracked dock pavement. Finally, the hunter nodded once. "You will hear from us," he said, "through secure channel." He turned and entered one of the vehicles. The remaining cars followed, disappearing into the storm. Iron Fang watched them leave with visible skepticism. "You risk inviting a blade into our throat," he said. Kai wiped rain from his face slowly. "The blade is already there. I am choosing which direction it points." Lian studied him in silence. "You are walking a narrow line," she said. "I know," Kai replied. Above them, lightning fractured the sky in a jagged flash of white. War was no longer a simple clash of claws and bullets. It had become something more dangerous. It had become political, and the fracture lines were spreading on both sides. Kai looked toward the city skyline as thunder shook the docks. The prophecy had never promised unity without cost, and cost was coming due. Thanks for watching. Share and subscribe for the next episode.